All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Willie, and we are playing college football 25. And I found a video on Fiddler YT's YouTube channel. Uh, he's calling it kind of cheese or loophole. It kind of is. But effectively, the idea is you want to start your coach as an offensive coordinator, and then there's two schools he mentions you should go to for this, either Georgia or North Carolina, because the head coach, right, who you want to see here with the CEO, the dream school, chance at an instant commit when offering a scholarship is a top school, right, and discount on coach abilities when another coach has the same ability. This is kind of the primary reason for doing this. This also helps because while you are the offensive coordinator at Georgia or North Carolina, if you choose that school, is that you'll get your top 5 recruiting classes unlocked in a couple of years, which means you can get down into this area for your recruiting. So boost your pipelines and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to this. So I have simmed through one season, and I am at the very beginning of season 2. So we still need to set up our boards and all that stuff. But in the first season, I did get the #1 draft class. Doing this, and what I did was, and I'll show you here in a minute. But basically, I set up my recruiting board. I didn't scout anybody. I just offered scholarships, and just looked for those snap commits to get however many I could get right away. And I think in the first season, I think I had 8 or 9 people already. 4 stars. I may have had a 5-star and maybe a 3-star or 2. But I stayed at the #1 spot all season long until the last week, and then Alabama jumped ahead of me out of nowhere, and I had to get a little lucky, and I got a couple of 4-stars in the out of the transfer portal, which put me back to #1. So I did get a #1 recruiting class. The downside to all of this is that I would eventually like to be able to take a head coaching job in the SEC, and the problem is I'm building up Georgia. So I may have to, in my final season there, or the off season before my final season there, I may have to go and release a bunch of their good players and bring them back down. Who knows? Or, like I said, if you want to play in the SEC, maybe do this with North Carolina. However, let me show you. So, after one season, I'm at 3 across the board on the top except for kickers, right? It's 3 times 7 is 21, 22, okay, times 5, right? So that's 110 points. But if you look here for the kickers, right, most influential kicker punter, the cost is only 3 instead of 5. And the reason for that is the bundle discount that we get from the head coach, right? So, looking at the head coach, right, he's got 2 of 4 here, which means that they will cost me 4 points each instead of 5. But also, the defensive coordinator has 2 of 4, which brings that cost down to 3. So for each coach that has the ability, your cost comes down by 1 point, which makes a huge difference. So a lot of these I got for 3 instead of 5, and then some of these for 4. Some of these I paid the full 5, just because I'm trying to also round out my stuff. Right. So anyway, I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 15, 16, 17. So whatever that is, 170, no, 185 points. I don't know, math. Right. And then down here, I've gotten started effectively as well. Again, getting a lot of these at the cost of 3 and 4 instead of 5. So your your coachability points, you can spend them better effectively, right? You can get more for the amount of points you have. Also, by playing with, Georgia or North Carolina, if North Carolina's team is good enough, I think they are. Um, you should start getting, other things, right? Like talent developer that is unlocked now because we did whatever it took to unlock that. I've got 3 bowl games because I didn't have to start at the beginning of the brackets last year, but 1 more bowl game and strategist becomes unlocked. This one's already unlocked, right? Um, I have paid to unlock the bottom half of Master Motivator. I have not yet paid to unlock this, but I will once I get 2 more top 25 games, probably. And then, like I said, getting another top 5 recruiting class will get the elite recruiter, which is kind of the point of all of this. So, the idea being that you spend a few years under a head coach with the bundle discount, and having the snap commits helps to unlock the bottom half of the recruiting tree for you quickly. So let me show you what we're talking about now. Let's go into set up our recruiting board. Okay, so the snap commits happen for people that have you as their first priority school, right? So what we want to do is start off by we're going to put all the 4 stars and 5 stars on here as we find them. And then, like I said, we're not going to bother scouting them, any of that. We're just everybody that has us first on their list that is a 4-star or a 5-star. We'll start there. All right. And it also helps to pay attention. Well, you're going to end up having to put a lot of time into this. So let's go here and sort by rating for a second. Man, all these 5 stars. Good lord. I should have done this first. Okay, so instead, go down here. Actually, let's take some of these folks off. Where did they all go? The 4 stars. All right, let's just do this. I think I may have got a little ahead of myself. Let's go back, sort by rating, and we're going to be looking for first on all the 5 stars. But yeah, this is key, right? You want people, only people that have you first as their interest. All right, so now that we've got all the 5 stars with us as first as their interest, now let's go back. All right, and we'll get our board back up to 35 with the rest of the 4 stars that we see here. All right. So now on our recruiting board, here we are. We got 35 guys. Now, if you want, you can say, where is it? Need scholarship, right? We're not scouting or anything. We're just offering scholarships. And we're just waiting to see how many of these guys will insta-commit. And this does take a little time, a little work. I was really hoping to see 1 or 2 of them by now. This is making me sad, actually. Deal breaker or something already. Well, this is a bummer because I just went through my whole list and not one of them signed with me. Wait a minute. Why are some of these? See, this guy did sign with me. Okay, so we've got a UI issue here. Apparently, some of these guys just didn't get the things. But like, here's a guy, tight end, right? It's to commit, so that's good. All right, so here's a 4-star. We'll move him up to the top, and I saw a 5-star down there that committed. Left end. Nice. All right. Okay, so for whatever reasons, there were some UI issues and it didn't show these guys snapping when I actually was offering a 10 before. But, I mean, yeah, we'll get over it. But there's one right there. Another 4-star. There's one right there, also another 4-star. There's a 4-star, and there's another one. All right. So this did pan out better than I was expecting. Okay, so let's just move all these cats to the top for now. Okay. Now, if you're terribly concerned about the actual positions that you're recruiting, you might be doing this for the wrong reason. I really don't give two craps about Georgia's future. I do give a crap about having a top 5 signing class at the end of the season. So here we've got eight guys in the preseason already pulled off the recruiting list for anybody else. We've got 1 5-star and 7 4-stars right out of the gate. And look at that. We are already at a 149-point advantage. Now, other schools will catch up to you. You know, this isn't the end. This is just the start, right? So now what we're going to do is we are going to didn't mean to sort. Okay. So now what we need to do is go through and remove all of these people off our board, because we still have over 1,000 hours. And the only thing you can do in this week is scout and offer scholarships. And so what we are going to do is just continue to look for people that have us as first on the list, get some more instant commits if we can, get these people pulled off of the prospect list so that other schools can't get them, right? And get their overall class rating higher. So there's a little bit of work here, and you're going to have some overlap because, like I did before, I went to the prospect list and I sorted by rating, right? I sorted by interest. But at this point, you know, and we could also go to all states. Didn't think about doing that sooner. Wish I had. I don't remember if I chose those guys or not. I'm pretty sure I chose that guy. But we're going to get him again anyway. Just now, Findler YT in his video did state that oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say now. Okay, so that's all that. Okay. You know what we could do is instead of that, we could go here. 5-star prospects, all with firsts. Okay. Let's do this. 4-star prospects. Okay. Now, a lot of these guys I've probably already thrown on my board, but you just don't want to miss anybody. Because, you know, you could get a couple more snap commits. Oop. Now we're into the seconds. Okay. So we'll go back to the recruiting board and we will try again. Some of these guys you may have already offered to. That's what I was going to tell you. So Findler YT's video does state that if you do make an offer to a guy and they don't accept it, you don't get a second chance by removing them from your board and putting them back on there. Once they say no, it's always no. Or rather, if they're not an instant commit, they'll never be an instant commit. But basically what you'll do is like this, just keep going through and looking for those loosey-gooseys. Last year I had a decent amount of 4-stars, a few 5-stars, and a handful of 3-stars. and I barely got the top class. But I had, I think, 19 4-stars and 6 or so 5-stars. I ended up with 35 players. So the idea is that to get that top 5 recruiting class, you're going to want to, throughout the season, continue to just recruit like crazy. Um, use all of the tips and tricks that you've learned so far. And I think, and there we go, we got one more there. Okay. So we got 2 more total? Yeah, okay. Alright, that puts us at 10. Preseason. Now these 5-stars, we definitely want to recruit some of those. Right? 5-stars hold a lot of value when it comes to scoring your recruiting class. Obviously, they're the most valuable. I've done a little bit of napkin math here and there, and I can't seem to find an exact value for 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and I'm sure it's going to be different based on if they're busted or if they're gems. It may even vary based on their own talents, right? So, or if they have um, development traits and things like that. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, here we are at the beginning of the season. We've already got 10 people committed to Georgia. All 4-stars and 1 5-star. So just like that, right out of the gate, there's 10 people off the board that are of high value. And we've got them. So if you really want to, you could go through this again, looking for 3-star prospects. But I am going to leave room on the board for as many 4 and 5-star prospects as I can get. So let's take a look at that. Let's go back. Let's just leave it here at recommended. Let's get into pipelines. And yes, we're going to be putting people back on the board that we did insta commit, but we are still going to try to recruit them in a normal manner. So 5-stars. Okay, now here's where we really need to start paying attention. Okay, this guy is from Ohio. Pro potential is a deal breaker. If he wants to be close to home, oh, you know what? I don't have a pipeline on this cat, so I'm not even gonna try. Okay. We'll take a look at some of these guys, and if it looks like nobody else is chasing them, we might try to hunt them down. But I mean, really, you want to load your board up with as many Tier 5 pipeline guys as you can, because that'll be the fastest way. You know. So you're still going to be looking for guys that have you first and second, if possible. And I am going to try some of these lower pipeline guys. No pipeline there. Okay. Okay. Any more pipeline stuff? I'm going to get into 4 stars. Okay. So let's do this. Let's just last check 5-star prospects. Just sort by pipeline. Make sure I've got guys here. Okay, that'll work. All right, let's go to 4-star prospects. Sorted by pipeline. Okay. Okay. So this is where you do want to start being a little more selective because, like this guy, we're third on his list, but he's from Florida, and Miami wants him as well as Florida. You know, so I don't want to load my board with people that I really have to fight for. It also helps being from, a team like Georgia or North Carolina where you do have plenty of hours in a week to spend also. All right. 30. First. All right, let's go up here and remove a couple of these guys that are seconds or thirds. Okay. All right, so first, room for one more. Oh, we're getting low on the pipeline stuff though. All right. There. Now we go to work. Okay. You make sure you give everyone a scholarship. And with a little luck, you may get one more insta commit that you may have missed in your first couple comb throughs. But however you want to look for people and however you want to organize that, make that up to you. But just do your best and spend the time you need to spend. But what we will do from here is we'll just go in and we'll play the season like we normally play it, except I don't play the games because I don't really care to be Georgia, but I do care about, winning. So what I do is I'll go into a week, I'll get all my recruiting done, And once I'm ready to advance my week, I make a hard save. Then I advance the week. It sims the game. If you lose, just go back, reload, and resim it until you win. Some sims might take a handful of times. Some only take 2 or 3 times. I was a little surprised with how many games Georgia lost in the first season, honestly. I had to sim or reload a lot. Now, on these guys, once we've offered everything to them, we're just going to start. Let's go ahead and scout. Since we've got the points, our board is full. We have nothing left to do with our hours. So we can start looking for gems like that. Nice. And, but yeah, this is it. You're just putting in the time at this point. Looking for gems. I mean, busts, we'll take anything because at the end of the day, a 5-star bust is still a 5-star, right? As I understand it. So, we'll take it. There's another video on Fendler YT's channel where he says scouting's for people that just don't know how to read the prospect list stuff. I understand the point he's making. If you go to the recruiting board and you've got a 5-star but nobody is making him offers, more than likely the person is a bust because they've already been scouted by other teams. And conversely, if you find a guy and he has several offers, the chances are that he might be a gem or just have good stats. And so once you get into the regular year, his advice is to not spend your points scouting at all. And I can kind of get behind that to a degree. You know, we may experiment a little with that. But, I mean, at the same time, I do have plenty of weekly hours playing under Georgia to the point where I didn't really feel like I wasn't, there were a few times early in the season where I felt like I needed more hours because I had 35 guys on my board and I had less than 10 commit in the preseason, so I had a little more work to do. There we go. Let's go this way. All right. But yeah, so I mean, this is kind of step one. And once we get this sorted, all right, now if you really wanted to, you can go through, right? I still have 240 hours. So we could just remove Jewel. And P. Willies. A Klutz. All right. 5-star. What are you doing down there? Okay. 2 right end 5-star gems. Oh, okay. 4-star gem. 4-star gem. Alright, I should not have any more gems or busteds down below. Oh, and there is a 4-star gem at the bottom. Of course. Okay, so come on. There. Now, I believe. Alright, we should be done now with busteds and got all of our gems up top. I like putting my gem players up top because, I mean, why not? You want to go after them first. Okay, so I've got 4 spots still on the board. Lewis, no stick. I don't recall. So here's what we'll do. We'll go back to the 4-star prospects, interest ratings, and jewelry we dropped. Putts and words we dropped. Okay. Halfback. Defensive tackle. Scrambler. Ogunbowale. I don't think I need another right tackle. Frost. Man, there's a lot of halfbacks. Good. All right. Since we still have the points, and we had a few open spots on our roster, right? Oh, and that's okay. So we did get that guy already. Okay. We know because it's already been scouted and he's a bust. And that guy is also a bust. And that guy is a bust. Okay, that guy is a keeper. Okay. So, Bateman, EB, and Frost. Damn it. I wish I hadn't done that. Okay. Bateman, Eddie, and Frost. It's important to me, right, to get as many people on the board as possible, even if I'm not putting points, heavy points into all of them, because I can watch them. And even if I've only got a few points into them, or a few hours, we'll still learn a little bit about them each week, as opposed to just not even putting them on the board, right? Nanny. Let's move down a little bit here. We have this Power Rusher, Flanagan. We'll try a couple of these second interest Power 4 pipeline. Alright, there's a 4-star gem, yay. Another 4-star gem, that's good. And, alright, 4-star, not a bust, but not a gem. It's alright though, we are going to take these 4-star gems and bring them to the top of the list. So 6 4-star gems and 2 5-star gems that we are going to try to focus on. But ultimately what we really want is just as many 4 and 5-star players as we can get. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 5-star gems. Nice. If this were my own team, I'd be super happy. But now I'm going to order these guys into star ratings, and then from that, sub-filtered by gems versus not. Actually, I think I don't know. We'll see. But we want to get these guys in an order. That I like anyway. So give me a minute here. We're almost there. Okay, so what have we got so far? 5-star. We don't have any gems though. That's okay though. We've still got 10 people already. Now it's time to actually start recruiting. So, oh, sorry. Now it's time to move out of this week. So we're at the top with 10 pre-commits already. Preseason commits. Oh, we need to set our schedule. Boston College, Open, UCLA, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Charlotte, Georgia Tech. Actually, that looks good. Are we short again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No? So if I try to put in a game here, will it let me? No, okay. Alright. Well, we know what we need to do. We are starting off the season at number 2. But that's okay. Alright. Recruiting board set up. Custom schedules are looked at. Top stories are good. Alright, next week, and that's, here we are. And at this point, we're in a bye week, so that's cool. Let's just continue recruiting. I mean, that's basically what all of this is, right? So now in our first week, we can see, like, we're going to go neck and neck with Miami for this cat. So we may not get him. But let's have a look I don't know. We'll come back to this guy. Some guys will be obvious. You just want to dump the points into them. All right. Actually, let's dump points into them and see what happens. Because we're going to be able to outscore some of these guys too. Because like this guy, right, the right end, I can get up to 80 hours into this guy in a week now. So we may be able to catch up and surpass, which is what we need. Okay. So we are just going to go down and dump as many points as we can, hard and fast, into the top guys in our list. And you're probably saying, oh, but you're going to run out of points. Yes, I am. But I'm going to get ahead in the race on these top guys as fast as possible, right? So the more hours you can dump into somebody, the faster you're going, the better chance you will have at getting them locked in as soon as possible. And as soon as you can hard sell, as soon as you can schedule visits, just get all of that and just full on, full gas on everybody you can, just right out of the gate. And then you'll have to do a little bit of juggling, in the first few weeks because all of your hours will be spent, but you're not going to be spending them all on everybody, right? You're going to have guys that don't have anything put into them if you're not careful. So now that I've got all of, let's see, so I've still got 15 people. 15 times 50 is 750, right? So I've only got 260 points left. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start putting minimum hours. Oh no, you know what we're going to do is we're going to work on our gyms. That's what we're going to do. All right. I am going to focus on my 5 stars and my 4-star gyms first. Okay. And just like that, I am out of points. I still have 2 4-star gyms. We're going to sit on it, though. We're going to sit on it. I don't want to get terribly behind, but ultimately this is about getting a top draft class. So I've got 14 more people ready with hours on them. We're looking good right here. More 5 stars, though. I mean, that's really going to be the key to winning this because at the end of season 1, I mean, I was, like I said, I was at the top class all season. And then out of nowhere, Alabama in their last week signed a bunch of people and went from like 30th class to like the number 1 class in 1 week because they signed a shitload of 5 stars. A handful of 5 stars, but a shitload of 4 stars all in one go. So keep that in mind. Like if you are near the end of the season and you still have 3 or 4 spots open, if you're at the top, you want to look at that point value. I'll show you here in a second. All right, so when you go to your top classes, oops, did not mean to do that. On the far right, you see I have 175.2 points right now. That's the grade of my recruiting class. If you have somebody, near the end of the season and they're like 2 points below you and they've still got room on their board, just know that they might jump past you for the top team, or if you're just fighting for the top 5, right? Just make sure that if you're down to like just working on like some 3 stars, leave room for the transfer portal. Because when that becomes available, there will be 4 and 5 star team players there. And if you do well through the season, they're going to be wanting to come to your school. All right. So now that we have advanced the week, let's do our recruiting for the week, and we'll make a hard save. And at that point, we'll probably call it for now on this particular stream. Should probably look at my computer screen, see if anybody's even said anything. Hello, computer. Okay. Not only has nobody said anything, it doesn't look like anybody's watching. Awesome. All right, so here we are. Yeah, we jumped way up on this cat. This cat. All right. Anybody that we are not number 1 with yet, that we've dumped hours into. Okay. This guy. Oh, let's go. We might be able to overcome these guys, but if Auburn or Alabama puts into it, this guy will probably have to come off the board because he'll be a loss and a wash of hours. In fact, we may pull him anyway, just to get a jump. Like that guy, we're going to lose that guy. Clemson wants him and wants him bad. Do you want to fight for this guy, yes or no? And I think that answer is no. Okay, so that gives us 60 hours back. Ooh, we are not getting that cat. Maybe, maybe not. All right. You're not getting that guy. And we might be able to get that guy if we get started now. But instead, let's go ahead and get the easy guys, the ones we're fairly certain we're going to get. I don't think I'm going to catch that cat. Yeah, and I'm not getting that guy. This guy, maybe. Okay. of our odds, we might be able to pull this guy in. It's a matter of who do you start with, right? And like if I start with this guy now, we'll beat out Tennessee. I don't know if I can beat out Auburn on this guy. Pretty sure I can get this guy though. Although I only have 60 hours to put into him. But that's okay. But in doing that, we looked through our list. We were able to trim down some of the things that were going to be obvious no's. But man, we've got a bunch of 5 stars that are going to be looking good to us. I don't think anybody here is going to beat us out on some of these 5 stars. As long as we keep the gas on and at full, if we can get those hard sells and those visits as soon as possible, we'll be doing good. No, this guy's not ready for a visit, is he? No, okay. All right, but so like I said, at this point, press down on the R3 button, and shit, what are we in, week 2? Week 1? Week 1, okay. Week 1 it is. Alright. And the last thing here, I mean, if you want to play the game, play the game. If you don't want to play the game, do what I just did. Either way, do what I just did. Hard save before. And go to next week, man. And if you lose, just reload your save and send the game again. A lot of news from those guys. Oh, I leveled up. Nice. And did I win? I did not. Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry. I was looking at the opponents. Okay, so that's a win. Now we've got a bye week. So we've got this week and this week to work through before we really need to make another hard save. So, that being said, let's just have a quick peek. Oh, and I've got coach points. Alright, so I have 10. Okay, so here's a good example. On the kicker, I think I may have showed this earlier, but pay it forward and hot hand only cost 4 each instead of 5. That's part of the bundled discount because another one of the coaches already has that. Yeah, so here we are. What do we want to work on? Go ahead and change direction. So, short, medium accuracy. Excuse me. Block power. Here's the thing, right? Wide receivers and tight ends. This is the largest group of people that can be affected, right? I can spend the same amount of points over here, but it's for one person on the field. Whereas this could be up to, whatever, 5 or more, depending on how many wide receivers and tight ends you have out. So, I mean, it comes down to spending your points, the way you want. Hopefully at a less expensive rate. I did want to make sure we save 5 here for the off-season training boost, although we're at the beginning of a new season, so I may wait on that and instead start pumping points into here as well. Because that staying hot through timeouts is good. Also, we have this bottom tier stuff. And we definitely want to get points in here for recovering faster from injury when we can. So, but definitely want to put points into this to get them up to at least 2 for staying hot. And then near the end of the season, we'll come back around and put points in there for the off-season training boost. And I'm telling you, it is my opinion, or my guess, that you don't really need to do this more than about, I don't know, 3 seasons at most? I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we've already done our hours. Have we already done our hours for this week? No, we didn't. So let's have a look at things here. Okay, what do we know about this cat now? Proximity to home is still a thing. Okay. Anybody? Just don't know quite enough about you yet. Man, I'm really striking out on the green check marks. Pro potential and program tradition. Of course, he's not in his top 8, so we can't deal with it anymore. This guy. Okay. Program tradition, campus lifestyle, and scheduled visit. You know he likes program tradition. So, here. We're going to take all of his hours away for a second. Let's have a glance at the hard sell. All right, we know 2 of the 3. Campus lifestyle and program tradition. He's probably going to say something like, I'm guessing proximity to home. If I had to guess. Right, and there it is. But we'll double check just to make sure there are no other choices with the 2 green check marks, which there are not. So we know for sure. Where'd it go? Proximity to home is the 3rd one. So we can hard sell him because we know. We know. Alright, so you can come to South Carolina and you like program tradition a lot, so we give it to you. Now we will go back in and just dump as many hours. Oh, we don't have any more hours to dump into him. See, this is where you start getting a little weird because you've got guys that are ready for visits, and we need to hard sell and get this stuff going. So let's pull some hours off of this cat. Get up to this guy, pull his hours off. Wait a second. Go right in and pull him back. Oh, I guess it's, I wonder if it's, whatever. Alright, so I'm going to try to feel out the hard sell on this cat. Probably going to do that one, but we'll just go through them all and double check. Okay. And there it is. We know for sure that that is what his hard sell is. And he's selling on pro potential. Oh, let's go back up to this dude. Give him some hours. Nope. Let's play a little thinner. Okay. There's 90. Okay. Hard sell this cat. There it is, the final workhorse. Nice. You know what? I don't care. It's competitive, is it? Okay. Oh, crap. Okay. And this guy. We might be able to do something here too. Oh, hey, look at that, another workhorse. Okay. And I need, crikey, 10 more hours. I don't want to pull off of some of these guys, but we're going to do it. All right. And with that, our mess of a recruiting board is starting. So here we are. Now we don't need to make a hard save here because it's not a game. All right. Now let's go look. Okay. Hundred and 60 hours. Did somebody sign somewhere else? How did I get those 160 hours? Where did they come from? I missed something. Either way. Alright, so let's get this guy back up to full. We do not want to let the gas off if we don't have to. Alright, hang on a second. Oh, I don't want to schedule them during a bye week, but sooner is better. Oh, let's actually. Yeah. that's probably it. But we'll just go through it all. Oh, academic prestige. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. But I don't want to mess up, so we're not going to do it. I'm just going to put the hours back into that cat. This guy. Green. Championship contender, pro potential. Alright, let's see if we can figure out this guy. Okay. And it's going to be that. No, sorry, that. Alright. So that's good to know. Let's get these hours back. Schedule you for a visit. Too bad I couldn't have got you there. But that will work. And you guys do that together. 40. Alright. Okay. But I mean, that's it basically at this point. It's just go through, find your guys, spend your points where you're comfortable spending them, right? Yeah. Got some visits. I like to put my visits up at the top because usually, or more often than not, it has been my experience that they typically sign shortly after a good visit. So they're already at the top of the board. They don't have to screw around. Okay, now I've still got 70 hours. And what's going on here? We need to sort this guy out. Can we hard sell this cat something? Oh, I already have hard sold. Duh. So let's just give him the rest of the hours that we can get onto him for the week. And we're not too dumb. Alright, and back to just looking for more guys where we think we can figure out. Yeah, that was the guy that might have been academic. Brand exposure championship contender. Oh, he's not ready anyway. This guy is though. Alright, so we're going to take everything off him for a second. And the one time I start at the bottom, it's not at the bottom. It's at there. Okay. Hometown hero. Nice. Family visit. Okay. And let's give him 40 more points. And we'll bump him up to the other people visiting. Okay. And we still got 15 points though, so let's do this. We're going to put a little bit into each of these guys just because. And we'll keep an eye on them. But, yeah, it looks like Auburn may catch that dude. If I sign some dudes and I get a bunch of hours, I may be able to catch up. But we'll see. This dude is going to probably be a loss. And yeah, I'm already falling behind on some of these other cats that I'm watching, so tough. I'm gonna hang on to him for just a minute. We'll see. Oh my god, I have like most of my board is defensive ends. What the hell? Okay, well, with that, we will make a hard save here for this is week 3, I believe. And at that, right? I mean, that's kind of it right there. I just, at this point, I sim through the season and I just continue recruiting with the point of it being trying to get a top 5 recruiting class at the end of the season, a second one, such that it unlocks the bottom half of the recruiter tree for me, which is kind of the original reason why we're doing this. So, as a quick recap, make an offensive coordinator, go play for Georgia or North Carolina because those coaches have the CEO thing. They also have snap commits, interest percentages higher, but more importantly, the bundled discount. And when it comes to spending points on your coach, I mean, you want to save everywhere if you can, right? So, that's that, Mattress Man. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. But how long have we been at this? Anyway, I've been at it for a little while. I need to take a break. You guys have a wonderful day. And let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think it's cheese? Do you think it's a loophole? I personally like to call it clever use of game mechanics, a lesson learned from Blizzard years and years ago when they didn't like what we were doing in WoW, but it wasn't glitching either, right? Just you're not playing the game we wanted you to, so we're calling it clever use of mechanics, and you don't get to do that. Yeah. So, you know, a little over an hour, 15 minutes, almost an hour, 20 minutes today. I may come back later, or I may just get through the year, and then we'll have a look at the board. But again, it's all about trying to min-max your coach, get as many abilities unlocked for the fewest amount of points possible. And in doing so, getting 2 top 5 recruiting classes in the first couple of years. And then once you kind of, you know, feel like you've milked, you know, this team's head coach for as much as you can get, that's when you start hitting the coach carousel. Find yourself a job. You may not play at the team you want to play at. I'd like to play at Arkansas, but who knows if that job will be open. You know, I may have to go to Arkansas State or, you know, just another school. But we don't know. But that's the downside, right? The pro is you are, you know, getting more abilities for less points. The con is you're not guaranteed to end up at the school you want to be at. At least not yet, anyway. But that just may be a thing. You may have to check your coaching carousel. Oh, have a good day.